Hi guys, welcome back to another video. I've got some really strange things going on with this tank at the moment, but today I want to talk about redundancy and why it's important to have spares of things. It's now got to the time when I need to replace the dosing tube on this FX STP, and I had a little bit of a scare with it sort of a couple of months ago, and ended up having to get a spare one. Just in case I had to take this one offline and get it sent back to be repaired. As it was just slightly clogged up. So I thought maybe I could do sort of like a little 4-month review on how this one's been working, and then set up the spare one that I've got, and then I can then I've kind of got 3 months to change the dosing line inside. So let's have a look at this one, how it's operating. Okay, I've just turned my CO2 off. You can see the red light's gone off there. So no more bubbles. I can turn this off, which is going to stop the water from moving around. I just push the button there and this one stops. So we're all shut down. I'm going to turn these valves off either side, so hopefully you don't get any water spilling anywhere. And all I need to do is literally just remove it from this bit and just swap it over. So I'll do that now. So while I've got it undone from where it needs to be, I just thought I'd compare the two tubes, and you can really see how much wear and tear this one's taken. It actually even looks like it's going a little bit thin, so I think it's really important to make sure that you do change these, because otherwise, if this line was to split here, obviously it could be disastrous, because water could potentially leave the unit. And when you look at like how firm and plump this one is, I mean, obviously it hasn't been used at all. So I think actually, if I was to recommend these to somebody, I would say to get some spare. I'm surprised it doesn't come with spare lines anyway, spare tubing line. And I think it's probably very easy to change. I'm sure you just pull these out and replace it. So you don't need to go as crazy as me and buy a whole nother unit. But yeah, it's interesting though, isn't it? Just to see, you can see I don't think it's cracked, but yeah, well, I'm glad I'm changing it now, let's put it that way. Okay, so I've got it set back up in place. Just gonna plug it in and we'll see what happens. Okay, so it looks like it's got a starting run mode at 89, so we were on 80, 40 mil, calibration. I will calibrate it in a moment. Let's pop it on run mode. And then let me turn it down to about 80. There we go. Okay, so now I've primed the lines. You can see there's water in both lines, so I just had it on run mode for a second. And all you have to do is you flick it to calibration, and what I now do is I set my line up in my measuring cup, and I just click on the calibration. So we want 40 mils in 60 seconds. And it's just gone through the first calibration, and I don't know if you can see there, it's come out at about 45. So I'm going to run it through again. Alright guys, there we go. There's the new one installed. It seems to be running smoothly. It does do this weird thing, there you go, where it seems to stop and then start again. But the amount of liquid that you get out of it, the calibration is, well, currently the 60 mils, so you get 60 mils of fluid even though it stops and starts. So I don't know if this is something new they've put in to save the head life or something like that. Let me know if anybody else's does the same thing, because my old one or my other one just constantly spin and never stops like that. But it's giving a constant supply, so I just need to keep an eye on it. And yeah, I mean, it is giving the 60 mils at the moment. I have reduced it somewhat because I'm just about to change my calquasser and what have you. But yeah, it does seem a bit weird that it stops and starts, but it's a lot quieter. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see if anybody else experiences the same thing. Okay, so I've just got off the phone to the retailers and they couldn't tell me whether it is supposed to stop and start the way it's doing now. So I'm waiting to hear back from somebody else. But in the meantime, I just thought I'd do a little update on how everything's doing. As you can see, massive overtakings on this side from those purple star polyp things. Also, my clam has decided to go for a little swim and stick itself in the sand bed. But over here we have got some good things going on. My Hollywood stunner there is starting to encrust onto the back wall. This Monty's starting to encrust as well, which is good. I've got a nice bit of growth from the Pavona there, which is nice to see. All of these are looking good. I've got to go in there and get rid of these ASAP because they will soon overtake the whole of those Zoas. I've even got some that coming down there now as well, so I'm going to have to get in there with that. But I do have some good growth on some of this SPS here at the top. And then where else are we going? Through here, all of this section's looking good. I'm tempted to take out this. Now, I don't know, this is looking a little bit suspect under here. I've got some mild maybe bleaching. I don't know if that's due to the urchin maybe eating the coralline and then eating around the bottom of the SPS maybe. These are looking really nice though. And all of this looks good in here. And then we get to Devastation Central. There's my what's left of my strawberry shortcake after the anemones decided to crawl all over it. The bit that I fragged underneath here, I don't know, it looks like it might make it, I don't know. I'm not holding out much hope for this one. You can see the bit that got bleached underneath here, or stung I should say. I think that's going to be okay. Yeah, and then I've got all these horrible things growing out of everywhere I look. I'm doing sort of a little section every day. So you can see here that actually this rock is now nowhere near as covered as it has been. So I'm going to get back in there with a toothbrush on that bit and go round and try my best to get rid of, I might start on this section today. I'm going to have to go in there and I'm going to do another water change today. And yeah, I mean, it's just everywhere. I need to see if I can pick out a few more of these Kenya trees as well. So I think if I just do a little bit every day, along with like a little daily water change, but yeah, so good and bad at the moment. And for anybody that might have been worried about the bubble tips, there's one big one there, and then there's the smaller one round there, and they seem to be doing really well. They've bounced back. I mean, it's only been 4 days, and they're yeah, all bubbling up, looking great again. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. I'd be really interested to find out whether this pump is meant to stop and start. I don't kind of think it is, so I'm waiting to hear back from the company that I bought it from, and I've also waiting to get an email back from another guy that I've been speaking to about it. So yeah, it'd be really interesting. If anybody's got any experience with these pumps and they've got any information, pop it in the comments below. Cheers.